Hi guys, and here we are. It's Friday and it's Friday beer storming. So thanks for joining me again. This time we're going through a different poll, and this time last week I was by the beach camping with my family, and this time around I'm back in the regular location at Paradox HQ, and I'm equipped. I hope you are too, though it has come to my attention that a number of regular Friday beer stormers don't beer storm, they don't wine storm, they pretty much don't storm. And I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, today we are going to run through the results of the most recent poll. We have worked out that the best sort of pattern or interval with the polls is every 2 weeks we're going to do. And hi Isabel, and hello Elizabeth. Now Elizabeth, and by the way, if you're watching this later on when we record it, when we first go live with a Facebook live streaming, we just wait a few minutes for people to come on in. And Elizabeth there, thanks so much for giving us a review. 5 stars out of 5 stars, always happy with that. Thank you, very kind. And I noticed that you've been on the front foot with not just doing the poll yourself, but also sharing the poll link with friends, family, pets, strangers. It's been good. And Elizabeth, you don't drink, so I'm not sure that you're allowed to be here. No, it's good that you've joined us again. Now today, the poll results that we're going to discuss ask the question, what is your experience using SEO services? Now that poll, that closed about an hour or so ago. I think maybe it was an hour and a half ago. And the question expanded is, have you used search engine optimization services, SEO services? By the way, I use a voice-to-text transcription piece of software. It's called Drag and Dictate. You're probably aware of it. And it never gets SEO right. I've tried training it a million times. It always says SEO. But anyway, SEO. And have you used SEO services to help improve your website's Google rankings? What's been your experience? Oh, you're doing coffee beer storming, Elizabeth. This late in the day, you must be Italian like my in-laws. I don't know how you get to sleep having a coffee this late in the day. So, the answers to that question, what's been your experience using SEO services, are yes, no, and no. So, thanks for joining me. Good night and good luck. Let's get into a bit more detail though. Iced coffee for Isabel. Okay. Now, the top response to the poll with 40% was yes, we currently subscribe to an SEO service. The second most common response with 26.7% is no, but we have considered using an SEO service. And then third most popular response was yes, but we no longer subscribe to an SEO service. And no, we do our own SEO for our website was the fourth most common response. Now let's just frame this up for everyone, whether you're watching live now or whether you're watching this video later on the page. Now SEO services basically means you have a team of people. So we've got our SEO implementation team at Paradox, and led by Aman, who's an absolute guru living on the beautiful Glitter Strip. It's on the Gold Coast in Queensland. I'm on the Sunshine Coast, north of Brisbane. He's south of Brisbane. And what they do is they roll their sleeves up and they do work on your website. So that's called on-page SEO. And they also do a lot of work off-page, meaning not on your website. So there's a lot of work that can be done to enhance your Google rankings on other websites. So that includes directory listings, business directories, also doing legitimate, note the use of the word legitimate, blog comments on other websites that have high domain authority. And all of those things contribute to helping you rank well in Google. Now, upstream from rank well in Google is, what do you want to rank well for in Google? Which phrases? And if you're in a small regional area, sometimes just ranking for a description of what you do, accountant, business advisor, bookkeeper, and your location might be a valid keyword phrase to target, but more often than not, that will attract, particularly in larger areas and larger cities and towns, that will attract price-sensitive, price-focused shoppers. Instead, focus on longer phrases that are, say, 4, 5, 6 words long that are more specific about really specific topics that relate to a really specific audience. And when you work with an SEO team, you right up front, basically they do the keyword research and work out a dozen or 2 dozen or 3 dozen phrases that you want to absolutely nail it in Google for. So that's the start, and then the SEO team does their part. They do all they can do, and there's a certain amount they can do. And then also what you need to do, perhaps with assistance of a content service like our blog article service, is also do great content on your website, not just on the static pages. So static meaning, the typical pages, about homepage, about us, services, etc. But most importantly these days, your blog posts. So you've got to have a regular publishing to your blog. If you're not blogging at least monthly, you pretty much just haven't turned up to the game. We recommend at least twice a month is a good pattern, and weekly is brilliant. So we work with firms all over the world, and they range, I suppose the average is 1 or 2 a week, but the guys that are really smashing it, they're doing good content 3 and 4 times a month. So the SEO team that you're working with can't work miracles. Your website has to have good content on it as well. So the two concepts here are traffic and conversion. So traffic, who's coming to your website, how many people are visiting, and there's various types of traffic that I've covered in past Friday beer stormings. So there's traffic, so it's like people walking into the shop, and there's conversion. So conversion is of those people that come to your website, what are they doing? Are they actually picking items up off the shelf, figuratively speaking? Are they buying? Are they walking down the aisles that you want them to? So with that one, we currently subscribe to an SEO service. I'd be really interested in anyone who's live at the moment. I know, Elizabeth, you've been a member of the Modern Marketing Academy with us for a while now, and you're very tech savvy, and I think you're addicted to technology as well. So feel free to share, Elizabeth, some of the tools that you've used with your website to help you with SEO. If you've got a website, and I think, Elizabeth, is yours still based on WordPress? That's the content management system, or CMS, that we recommend for websites in general. And if you're thinking of redoing your website, this is speaking to anyone watching live or later, we have an inner circle of really, really good website developers that do sites on WordPress, which is our recommended content management system. There are others out there that are based on things like Wix or Weebly or Squarespace or Business Catalyst, which is now owned by Adobe. And we pretty much don't recommend any of those for a raft of reasons I won't go into now. But we've got an inner circle of a couple of really, really good website designers and developers, and also content writers for websites that we can refer you onto. But if, let's say, you're using WordPress, there's some great plugins. There's hundreds of them. But one of the good ones around SEO is Yoast. So it's spelled like toast, except it starts with Y at the beginning, Y for yellow. So look that up, and that allows you, when you're adding pages and adding posts to your website, you can optimize a post. Let's talk about blog posts. You can optimize for search engines, Google being the main one, but there are others apparently, such as Bing, so that it ranks well in Google. Now it's funny, it's part art, part science. Now Aman, who heads our SEO team that I mentioned earlier, he updates us all the time. There was another update to the Google algorithm just in the last couple of days. So it's constantly changing environment, but it's part art and part science. So what I mean by that, as an example, if you use a tool like Yoast, you can over-optimize a page or a blog post. What does that mean? Well, that means that you optimize it to the bejesus belt. That's an actual word, you can look it up on urbandictionary.com. And that means you've gone over the top, and you have done more than what Google would consider legitimate for making it relevant to those search terms. So in Yoast, when you're logging a post, it asks you what is the phrase that you want to rank well for in Google. So remember, you want 4, 5, 6 words, a long tail phrase. Search long tail if you're not familiar with that. There's a great book by Chris Anderson that's called The Long Tail, which is a lot broader than SEO, but that's about the ability using modern marketing and online marketing to go very specific but global with what you're doing and the value that you're delivering. But with Yoast, once you enter that phrase, there's a checklist, and it uses like a traffic light system, of green lights, yellow lights, red lights, and it's checking, do you have that phrase in the title of the page? So the title is what appears in the Google search results. Note that is different, can be and probably should be different to the headline that appears on the page. So that's different. That's the H1 or heading 1 tags. So do you have it in the title? Do you have it in the heading? Do you have it in the description or the meta description that appears in the Google search results? Is it in alt tags describing images on your page? Is it in H2 and H3, so the subheadings on your page? But there's the optimum density. You don't want to use SEO operatives helping you in this area that are, in general, not in your culture. If they're offshored, they might not understand, I suppose, the cultural nuances of great communication on your site. So that's one thing. Make sure that they're within your culture, and make sure that they're also within your vertical, within your industry. Because I've seen so many cases of sites where, let's say, an accounting firm is signed up for an SEO contract for a year, they're paying $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and the SEO operatives have managed to get the website to rank really well, but bad news, they have ruined the website for humans. So here's a rule. Write it down if you've got a spare hand. One might be on a coffee or a wine or a beer, but the golden rule is write number 1 for humans, you and me, and write number 2 for Google. Now, SEO operatives who are unsophisticated will do the opposite. They will optimize your page so it ranks really well in Google, but then when someone comes there, they go, what is this? It doesn't even read well. So keyword stuffing breaks up great communication. Imagine if you were talking to someone at a party. Now let's flip it around. Imagine you're talking to someone at a party and you are an accountant for franchises. I just picked that randomly. So let's say you're an accountant that helps franchises. And every second sentence, when you're speaking to someone, you drop that phrase in. Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. What do you do for a living? Oh, yeah, where do your kids go to school? Oh, yeah, our kids go to school at such and such. And in my job as accountants for franchises, we find it's good to drop the kids off a bit early so we can get to gym. What? Now, that's a ridiculous example, but that's what SEO people do that are unsophisticated. They'll keyword stuff and cram words into your site so that humans will read it and just go, I am out of here. So remember, traffic and conversion, there's 2 parts to it. You don't just want more traffic. You want to convert visitors onto your email subscription list, your social media network, and the like. Okay, Aman's online too. Cool. Hi, Aman. Good to see you. So yeah, drop an email to seo@practiceparadox.com.au. And the DIY, the do-it-yourself in any area, it's a bit like, so Elizabeth, you've got a Xero cloud-based bookkeeping business, and in theory, a business owner can learn how to use Xero and can think that they're doing their bookkeeping well, but for someone who's a professional bookkeeper, certified bookkeeper and or accountant, and looks at it 8, 9 times out of 10, if they haven't had professional assistance, they'll just walk into a mess. So even though there are really good tools like Yoast out there, with that over-optimization risk and other tools, you can actually do harm as well as good simultaneously. So it is best to work with specialists. So 40% currently subscribe to an SEO service. Interestingly, the second most common one about we've considered using an SEO service. Now, Aman, I'd be really interested for you to type in, and later maybe under this video, enter some tools that you feel are good for people to do the keyword research. Now, on one hand, you can utterly protect, I suppose, shield people from having to get involved in that, because for your subscribers within our SEO implementation service, they just need to talk to you over the phone or over a web meeting, and you handle all of that. However, if you're a bit of a propeller head and you like to do a bit of research on a Friday night over a bottle of red or a glass of Cooper's or whatever it might be, there are some really cool tools out there to do keyword research. Now, Yoast has a pretty cool tool that allows you to very quickly find out what would Google autofill if you typed into if you typed into Google search engine, you know how when you type a word and you hit space, Google then suggests the next word. And then if you hit space again, it'll suggest the next, and sometimes the fifth as well. That's called Google Suggest. Now, if let's say you're an accountant, and you go to Google and you type accountant space for, F-O-R, space, and then the letter A, you will then see the most popular or frequently searched on phrases starting with A on that word. So accountant for abattoirs, or whatever it might be. And then you can do for B and C and D, and you don't really want to do that. So Yoast has a tool that super quickly, you can just type in the stem and they will give you a report that you can download as a spreadsheet or a CSV of all of those results through the whole alphabet. Then you can go through and go, oh, that's a good one. I didn't think about targeting that. Let's do that. So that's Yoast Suggest. Very cool tool. Another one, SERP. So SERP, S-E-R-P, stands for Search Engine Results Page. And there's one called SERP Stat. Stat for statistics, that's one word, SERP Stat. That's a really cool keyword research tool as well. But at the end of the day, Google Suggest is one of the best tools you can use because you can just very easily see, based on typing something, space, type another word, and you can come up with phrases. Like for us, we target marketing for accountants, but we also target marketing for advisors, marketing for bookkeepers. But within that, there's a whole bunch of variations that aren't apparent, might not occur to you. You know, we're all busy, going from day to day, getting things done. But when you step back and look at the data, for us, we can see, okay, there's marketing tips, there's marketing strategies, marketing plans, marketing templates, a whole range of variations around that core phrase that we can optimize different blog posts and pages for, and the same applies to your business. 20% of people, the third most common one, common response in the current poll that's just closed today was, yes, we have used SEO services, but we no longer subscribe to them. So I'd be very interested to know why people no longer subscribe. If you were in the webinar that we ran a couple of weeks ago, where I interviewed Tanya and Rebecca from Consolidate. If you're Googling Consolidate, it's Consolid, then the number or figure 8. They're the recently crowned Xero Partners of the Year in the accounting category in Australia. And Iman and our team on the SEO implementation do their SEO. They're getting about 1,500 to 2,000 unique visitors every month from organic, which is just jargon, meaning people who've just discovered their site by searching on things. So they haven't just typed in the web address, they haven't just clicked on a link in an email subject. So they're new potential clients in essence. And when you're doing SEO, one of the things that Rebecca White from Consolidate mentioned is the phrase that stays in my mind. I think she used the phrase slow burn. So with SEO, it's important to commit to it long term. So for example, don't think, oh great, I'm going to sign up to an SEO service and in a month or two, we're going to be absolutely nailing it in 1, 2 and 3 in Google for our target phrases. Because there's a lot of labor and a lot of work involved in on-page and particularly off-page SEO, it can take a while and you'll get a cumulative benefit over time. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. I must say that in searching globally, oh my goodness, we've searched multiple countries for good SEO operatives over the years that really know their stuff and that are also aware and sensitive to the peculiarities of professional services. You know, you don't want to come across online as tacky, hard sell, retail, down market. You're professionals. So I reckon I probably got an ulcer from evaluating and doing competency testing and working with a whole range of different SEO people who in the end did not stack up until I met Aman, and it's been an absolute pleasure having Aman on our team over the last year. So guys, feel free to drop us a line, put a comment under this video. If you've just stumbled across this video, make sure you like the page so that you get notified in Facebook on your phone or in your browser when we go live. Ask any questions you like about SEO in general, anything that we covered today, and on Monday we'll go live with our next poll, and let's keep this dialogue going, because the more we learn about where you're at and the challenges that you're experiencing in your own digital marketing, the more that we can actually evolve and develop what we're doing to support you and stay on the leading edge. So enjoy the rest of your storming, whether it's beer, wine, coffee. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again this time next Friday. Bye for now.